Doesn't matter if you've put your retirement funds into a living annuity, you can still switch the living annuity to a life annuity. We actually seen a lot of this, and I think that's where most purchases of a life annuity come from. You see, the average age of entry to a life annuity is not 60, and I don't even think it's 65. I think it's 70 and above. Once people have experienced a living annuity and it's not doing what they wanted to do and it's not performing, they will switch to a life annuity because the investment risk in a living annuity is just too much for them. So if you have got a living annuity and you're drawing 6-7%, and you need to know what income you're drawing from your living annuity. If you are drawing 7, 6, 8% from your living annuity, you need to go to a life annuity. There's just no question in my mind that you would keep the living annuity, because you're going to go over a threshold where you're going to start eating seriously into capital. See, the problem with living annuities when they start is clients don't get the correct advice around asset allocation to grow. They often are far too conservative. It always amazes me that the Regulation 28 investments that clients use to fund these living annuities, for so long those are so conservative. And if they get their personal retirement annuities correct and their preservers correct and those type of funds correct, they often neglect to go and look at the portfolio where the pension fund or the provident fund is, because those portfolios, the ones I see, 9 out of 10 times they're very conservative. It's almost like financial advisors or people that look after these funds for clients, they don't want to have that hard conversation of loss with their clients. So to avoid that hard conversation, they're putting their clients into conservative asset classes. That's terrible for the client. You can't be achieving inflation plus 3, 4, 5, 6% with conservative asset classes. And then inside these investments, you've got Regulation 28. So you can only get at best to moderate aggressive portfolio anyway. And then your offshore exposure is limited to 45%. So at least with a living annuity, there's no Regulation 28, so you can up that thing. But yes, you want to transfer, let's call it your Regulation 28 money, your retirement, your preservers, your provident fund, you want to make that more conservative as you're nearing retirement. Let's make it, if it's 65, if you're going into a life annuity. But if you're going to first go into a living annuity, you can keep your portfolios in your Regulation 28 portfolios. You can keep them aggressive longer. But so often I see people getting into life annuities too late. They've lost a lot of capital in their living annuities. Their Regulation 28 through their lifetime, working life, hasn't grown like it was supposed to because they were too conservative. And now they're forced almost with a life annuity. Look, I still think a life annuity, no matter how well your stuff is done, I even think a life annuity is worthwhile if you only planned to take 5% from a living annuity. Life annuity rates are at all-time high in South Africa. It takes a lot for evidence from a living annuity for a client to say, wait on, the life annuity doesn't make sense. I mean, there would have to be big priorities for legacy for the children or the dependents or people left over, because a life annuity, you can put joint life annuity. Both husband and wife can get guaranteed income for life at a much higher rate than you would get from a living annuity. It's just that you don't have that legacy issue, But from an income perspective, you can't beat a life annuity.